me all around town, Ray Brown. Check this out. I was homeless 7 years ago. And when I was homeless, it's because of recession. So one thing I learned about being homeless, and this is what inspired me to where I'm at today, where I'm creating a startup that's been approved by Washington, D.C. in the energy field. I'm about to get 2 degrees in less than 6 months. Check this out. This is how I got started. When I was homeless, I realized this. At first, I couldn't figure out. I was like most people out here in the streets, man, couldn't figure out what was going on. Then all of a sudden, I seen the light in time of darkness. And that light was that I finally realized that man evolved from outside. So if man evolved from outside, everything you see today was a thought before it became reality. So my cue for telling you this is that in order for you to become independent and understand where life is, you have to raise your intellect, because knowledge is the key to all. Man raised his intellect when he created houses and homes and apartment buildings. That's how he got out the cold. So my word to the people out there living in the streets, in order for you to go back inside, raise your intelligence, because first of all, when you're homeless, you're in your natural environment. Man evolves from outside. But see, words that are in America is meant to be detrimental to the mindset, such as the word homeless. There's no such thing as homeless, because first of all, if you're homeless, that means that you're not living in a man-made structure. You come from outside. So the key to all this is raise your intelligence and your horizons will broaden. Because one of my favorite English teachers told me this. She said, young man, always remember this. When you put knowledge in your brain will constantly expand. When you stop learning, your brain instinctively regresses. So it's like that old saying when the parents say, I can't do my children's homework. My children's homework has got too hard. No, you got to back that up. Your children's homework has not gotten hard. You just stopped learning.
Right.
Being grateful for being alive. Because see, check this out. See, a lot of people wake up. See, that says, I'm not a real religious person, but I'm a God-fearing man. But it says that we all are sinners. So I say the key to life is, it's not when you get out of bed. It's when you first move, when you first blink your eyes, when you first realize you done made it to another day. Once you realize you done made it to another day, your next step from that point should be trying to make that day better than the day before. Why? Because you begin another day of life. So the key to life is being thankful. Because when you're not thankful, that's when all hell breaks loose. Why? Because first of all, you don't have first base covered as a sinner, which is being grateful for being alive. If you give thanks, you'd be surprised how your mind will expand and explore the beautiness of being alive. Most people live to die. You have to learn to live. You have to learn to live. And most people don't do that. That's why they wake up disgruntled every day, because they don't appreciate the life they have. So until you realize that, your life is going to be in turmoil, because life is meant to be enjoyed. Poverty is a state of mind. It's not a cause. So without the word poverty, then where would you be at? Well, you know, you hear from most people. Most people usually start off at 30, 40 years old. The first thing they start doing is when the bones start creaking and things start not going the way they want to say they're too old for something. Well, how can you be too old for something when man used to live to be hundreds and hundreds of years old? So imagine this. When you get to a certain point in your life and you start thinking you're too old, look at the person next to you that may be a little bit older. They may not be saying that, but don't you want to live and be like them? So you got one or two choices. Either you can be 100 years old or 100 years young. 100 years old means that you've been complaining about being old for a long time. That's why you're old and grumpy at this point. 100 years young means you never thought about the age. Age didn't even matter to you. Why? Because you concentrate on every day, because first of all, you was grateful for being alive. So that kept the spirit in you young. So as long as you think in a positive way, you'll be surprised what it does to the mindset. So always remember that. You can either be 100 years old or 100 years young. It's a choice you got to make. It's a choice you got to make. When you're at that crossroads, you got to ask yourself, am I too old for this, or do I want to give myself another chance to do what I couldn't do yesterday? But the key to that is being able to see the light into the time of darkness when everything around you seems broken.
Right.
Well, it's not broken, because if you ask yourself on a personal level, I've been there before. It's just at this point, I just can't figure it out. But the cool thing about it is, the bottom line at the end of the story is that every problem is self-imposed, which means you created it.
Right.
So every self-imposed problem has to have a solution, especially if it's created by man. I tell people all the time, when it's not a man-made solution, man-made problem, that's when you need to worry, because it has no man-made solution. But as long as it's a man-made problem, come on. You know, it's like getting a bill in the mail. Why would you worry about a bill and go crazy over a bill and the bill ain't said nothing to you? Well, I was told a long time ago, if you're not ready for the bill, tear it out. And people say, well, why don't you tear the bill up? You got to pay it, because first of all, mentally, you're not ready for it. That's why you're going crazy. So you tear it up and throw it away. Why? Because it plants a seed in your mind that letter's coming back. So now, when it comes back, you're a little bit more at ease, because now you know you got to figure out a way to pay the bill. So if you can't pay it in the first time, just tear it up and throw it away. Why? Because you know now you got to wait for the second letter to come. Now your mind is ready. But when you're not ready, hey, get rid of it. All the time, the key to success is not what you acquire, it's what you overcome. That's the definition of success. Because see, people, they make a problem for themselves or making a bad decision. They want to dwell on it. You can't dwell on bad decisions in life. If that's the case, you're going to be dwelling on that forever and a day. And life is too short to be dwelling. So anything else that you need to hear, hey, listen to that inner voice. The inner voice will tell you everything. Because the only motivation you can get is by being alive. So if you don't appreciate being alive, then what's the purpose of being alive?